My dear friends, in this particular lecture we are going to learn how to handle the database. Now why do we need to handle the database? Already have discussed in the previous videos, in the very first videos, that while we are using any application and the front end, from the front end portion, so from where user is going to provide the data, if you talk about the registration form, user is going to put some data information regarding their names and other details. And if you talk about Facebook or YouTube, people do send messages, post photos, upload videos, so all those are nothing but the data. So all those data need to be saved properly in an organized way, so that those can be used for the future purpose. So unless you keep those data in an organized way, those can't be used for the future referring. So that is why database is important. So those data will be kept in an organized way so that it can be dealt with as an information. So information is nothing but the collection of data in an organized way. So for that we need to handle the database properly. So for handling the database, what you need to do exactly, let me tell you in detail. So the first important thing, we have to install the localhost XAMPP server. So having told you in the very first video how to install this application. Without this application, even you can't run the PHP language, even you can't handle the database. So you have to install this XAMPP application first, and after that, to handle the database, we have to run these two services, that is Apache and MySQL. Run these two services, right? I have already kept, you can see I have kept on running these two services, that is Apache and MySQL. Now after that, what you need to do, you have to write here this thing, localhost/PHPMyadmin. So this link you have to open from the browser. So localhost/PHPMyadmin, just note down the link. This is the exact link that you have to open using your browser. Any browser, it is preferable to use the Google Chrome browser. So instead of a localhost, you could have also written that 127.0.0.1, right? So localhost is same as this particular IP address, that is 127.0.0.0.1. So this is known as self-test loopback IP address, which is going to return the same IP of your computer which is you are having now. Instead of this, you could have also written localhost, localhost, right? So this is how we have to run this XAMPP application, right? And this interface is going to appear. So once this interface will appear in front of you, first thing you have to do, we have to create the database. So the most important thing is to create the database. So we are going to learn all the details in manually. First we are going to execute those things manually, and the later part of the video we are going to do those things using the SQL queries, so MySQL queries. So our main focus is to learn the MySQL queries. Why do we need to learn the MySQL queries? So here I've got list of MySQL queries. Let me show you. So we are going to learn all these things. So let me tell you why do we need to learn the MySQL queries. That is only because our main motto is to develop a complete web application. So to develop a complete web PHP application, we have to interact the front-end design with the back-end design by the way of running the query languages. These are the query languages. These languages will be incorporated with the PHP application. PHP application we already have learned in the previous lectures. So with the PHP application and alongside with this MySQL queries, by both this we are going to communicate with the backend database server. So first we are going to learn manually, then we are going to learn this MySQL queries, and from the next videos I'm going to show you that how you can execute this MySQL queries inside your PHP language to communicate the front-end design with the back-end database. So that I'm going to show you from the very next video. In this particular video, we're going to keep our focus to learn these MySQL queries, but before that I will show you manually. So this link of the website I will give you in the description so that you can find. In this link you will find all the important MySQL queries. So I have developed this particular website for you, where you will get all kind of programs, all kind of queries. It will be very easy for you to learn. So I've explained it to you everything in detail. So in this website, this website I have developed for you. Okay, so I'll give the link of this website in the description of this particular video. Okay, so first let me continue manually. So first thing I'm going to do, that is we're going to create a database. So here you will see the option of database. Now I'm going to create a database. So let me give a name of the database, that is my database. So you can see I have given the name of the database, my database. So let me create a database. So I have already created the database that you can see over here, my database. So at the left side you can see here I have created the list of database. So it was previously being created some of the databases. Today in front of you I have created this particular database, that is my database. So in this particular database I don't have any table now. So what I will be doing, I will be creating a table. So you can see create table option. So to create a table I have to give a name of the year. So let me create a table. Let me create a table name, student name, student, student underscore name. So I have created a table, right? So this table will be having, let's say, 4 columns. So in this table we are going to have just 4 columns. The table name will be student name. Now I am going to create this go option. So this interface will appear in front of you. Now you can see those 4 columns have been given in front of me. So I'm going to provide the name of those 4 columns. So the 4 columns table that we are going to create, we also have to provide the name for each of the column. So first the column name will be student name, student underscore name. Okay, so next one will be say role, or you can say student, student role, and this will be class, and this will be say address. So I have taken over here, you can see 4 column table, and I have already given the names over here. Now what types of data this particular table is going to hold? The student name will be varchar. Varchar means it is going to hold character, any character. And the student role, it should be of integer type. Integer type means it is going to hold the number. Okay, now class should be of integer type, right? That is, it is going to hold the number. Address should be of varchar type, it is going to hold the character. So the table column, the specific column which is going to hold the specially integer, so that I am going to provide integer. So in those column where I have declared the integer type data, in those column the character other than integer will not be allowed, right? But in varchar what will happen, it can hold both numbers and character. Now we have to specify the length. So name, so maximum length we have to give over here. So student name will be of maximum length of, let's say, 20 character long. Student name must not be more than 20 character long, that I have given earlier. Roll number must not be more than, say, 3 digits, right? 3 digits means up to, you can say 999, that is 3 digits, 999, not more than that. And class name, it should not be more than 2 digits. And address fields, let's say I will give 40 characters, okay, because address fields must be little bit longer, because it is going to hold the full address, city, the exact numbers of the house, road, some other districts. So all these things will be held in the address field. That is why I have given a little bit longer. So it depends on your requirement, how are you going to make the table. Okay, so will you be allowed to give null value or not? What does it mean? Let me tell you. So null value will be allowed or not. So okay, so I have given here default null, right? Null means null value will be allowed. So I have given null value for each and every field, for each and every column. All these things I may or may not provide. Okay, there are so many things. Okay, these 4 things which I have given already is enough for you to learn. Okay, so now I am going to save this thing. So I have saved this thing. Now you can see the table already has been created. Now okay, so under this my database, okay, I have got the table, first table, student name. In this student name, here I have got 4 columns. Now I am going to incorporate some data. Now how to incorporate data? By this insert option. By using this insert option I can get some data into this table. So you can see the student name here. I will write the name over here. The student, let's say Shubhajit Ghosh, the name of the first student I have given, and this student is reading in class 3. I can say student roll number 3, class, let's say class 9, and address I will give, say, Konnagar Hugli, and this is the address. Now I am going to click this go button. Now you can see in the student table data has been inserted successfully, right? So let me insert another row of data. So here I will write, say, Subhas Mitro, and roll number I am going to give, say, 32, and the class, say, 8, and address I will be giving Topara. Now you can see in this particular table I have added here two rows of data. Now how to delete this table manually, that I am going to show you over here. Now you can see, so here I have selected the my database table, and here I have got the option drop. So by this drop option I can delete this table, and here you can see if I want to delete the full database, what exactly I have to do, let me tell you. So here this option I will click over here, okay, and at the bottom you can find the option drop the database. So this is how you are going to drop that particular database. Now same thing if I had to execute by the queries. So here you can see in this given website you will get all the queries. So I will tell you to practice all the queries at your home. So first thing I am going to do, that is I am going to run this show databases queries. So this particular query is going to help you to see how many databases are there. So here I will first go to this option SQL, right? So why have I gone to this particular option SQL? Because in this option I'm going to execute the query languages. So I have pasted it. I have just simply copied the query from here, and the same I have pasted it over here. Now I'm going to execute that. Okay, now let me increase the size so that you can easily see the queries. Now you can see, now I'm going to execute this over here. Now just see what I will doing now. So I will click the go button. Yes, this query you can see over here, that this particular query, this query will show all the databases list. So in the XAMPP local server, how many databases are there, that will be shown to me using that particular query. So now you can see this many numbers of databases exist in the localhost XAMPP server, right? Okay, now let me execute the second query. So create database name. This query I'm going to execute. This query will create a database name, database. So this query I'm going to execute, create database. So this query will help me to, so now create database, my database. Okay, so I'm going to execute this query. Now you can see I've executed the query. Now the left side you can see this particular database has been already created for me, because just now I have created the database, right? Now let me run the previous query, show databases. Now if I run this query, you will find the database which I have created, that will be shown to me. Now you can see this my database just now I have created in front of you. So that is why show databases in this particular query, when I have executed this my database has been appeared in front of me, because I have created just now this database. Now I hope you understood these two queries. Now okay, use my database queries means which particular database you are going to use. There are so many databases which has already been created under this localhost XAMPP server. So I am going to use this particular database. So for that I have executed that query. Now you can see this particular database already has been selected for me, because I am going to use this particular database. Okay, now I am going to create a table. So this is going to create a table. So this query will create a table. The table name will be my table, in database my database. So just under this database my database, I am going to create the table. So I have selected this database. Now I am going to run this query. So this particular query is going to create a table under this database. Okay, remember. So let me just increase the size so that it will be a little bit easy for you to understand. I hope this is good for you to understand. I am going to execute. Let me first explain it to you in detail. So create table, my table. The table name is my table. In this my table, I am going to create 4 columns. The first column name will be roll number, which I have done manually. The same thing I am going to perform by this SQL query. So this roll number will be integer type data type. It is going to hold integer type data, and maximum 4 digits it can hold. And the second is my name, first name. This first name will be a column name, and this is going to hold the character type data, right? That is why I have given varchar as the data type, and this is the length. So 20 character long name can be stored in that column. The column name is first name. Another column name that I have taken, last name. So in this last name column name, it will be varchar, that means character it will be holding, and 20 character it can hold. Address I am taking, which can hold 40 characters, and also I am taking the city. Now let me just execute this query. I am going to click this go option. Now you can see now MySQL returned an empty result set. So it has already created, right? The table has been created successfully. Now I am going to see the table. How can I see the table? Okay, so let me just show you the table over here. Now this my table I have created, where I have got 4 column, 1 2 3 4 5 column, 1 2 3 4 5, right? This thing I have done by the MySQL queries. Now I am going to insert data over here. I'm going to insert data. So to insert data, we have to run these queries. Now you can see I'm going to insert data, which I have done manually. The same thing I'm going to execute by this query. So I'll be going to this SQL option again. Here I'm going to insert into my table 1. My table name is my table. So insert into my table. The column name I have given over here, first name, last name, address, and city. But here you can see role was there. So also I have to add roll number. Now you can see after that values. So inside this column, these values will be stored. Just see. So first I will put the role. Okay, and after that first name, last name, address, and city. Okay, let me execute this command. Okay, so I will click the go button. Now the command has been executed. Let me me just show you. Now you can see in the first row the data has been inserted. So in the second row I'm going to insert another data. So let's say the column will be same. I'm going to here make it 2, the row will be 2, and let's say the name will be Subhas, title will be Mukherjee. Okay, let's say the city will be Konnagar. Okay, now so let me again execute this query. Now so I have executed the queries again. Now you can see, so 2 rows of data have inserted. So there is a limitations. Let me show you the limitations. So the table which you have created, what is the exact limitation over here? Now if I again try to insert the same data, what will happen? Let me show you. Now you can see same data I have inserted into this table. Now you can see the roll number 2, same data. So repetition of data which has been inserted, right? That you can say duplicate data. So duplicate data I have inserted, which should not be allowed, because we are going to organize the data. If you keep duplicate data, it is going to occupy more space, right? So if you keep on keeping the same data repeatedly, it is going to occupy more space. That is why we have to eliminate storing the duplicate data inside the table of our database. So how can someone eliminate storing the duplicate data inside the database? Now by creating the table with the primary key option. Now I'm going to teach you how to create table with the primary key option. So let me show you. So again I'm going to click this SQL option, and now you can see I'm going to create another table. Create table, my table 1, right? Now here I have added, you can see the roll number is going to be act as a primary key. The roll number is going to be a primary key. What does it mean? Primary key, when you are going to set primary key for a given column, that column is not going to hold duplicate data other than this particular column. All this column may hold duplicate data, but roll number, that will be unique, because more than one student in a class should not have same roll number. So by this way you can eliminate holding the duplicate data inside the table. So 2 students may or may not have same name. 2 or more students may or may not stay in the same city, or may not having the same address. So 2 or more students may sometimes have the same name, but in a class 2 or more students will never going to have the same roll number. So that is why the roll number will be taken as a primary key, and it is going to restrict entering duplicate data. So inside this field duplicate data will not be allowed. So let me just execute this query. So I have executed this query. Now first let me show you the my table which I have previously created. Now you can see, so this data is duplicate, so both the data are same because the roll numbers were also same. So inside the my table I have not incorporated the primary key option, right? While I have created that my table, I have not incorporated the primary key for the roll number. Now let me show you. If I go and click my table, and if I go and see the structure of the table, now you can see this is the structure of the my table which I have created. So roll number is not a primary key, but if I go and click here my table 1 which I just have created, now I am going to see this structure. Now you will see, so a key, this is known as primary key. Have you seen this key? Now you can see it is written primary key. Now here in the first table which I have created, now you can see there are no such key. So here I have not incorporated the primary key function for the roll number. But in the second table which I have created, if I go to see the structure of the table, now you can see everything is similar, but here is the primary key. So I have incorporated the primary key function for the roll number to keep the uniqueness of data inside this table 1. Now I am going to insert data. So I am going to select this query to insert data. Now here insert into my table 1. This is the my table 1, first name and last name, address and city, and the values. This thing I am going to insert. Okay. So inside this 4 column, this value will insert, right? Let me just execute this query. Now query has been executed. Now one thing, if you see 1 2 3 4 column, 0 has been inserted over here in the roll. So I have not mentioned any value in the roll number, no. So 0 has been inserted. Now if I try to insert the same query, so same data again. Now let me show you. I am going to insert the same data, right? Same data. Now you can see error has been shown to me because duplicate entry 0 for primary key is not allowed. So what I need to do here, I have to write roll number. So roll number will be given as 1. So let me execute. So I am going to change the first name. I will make it Rohit Gupta. Okay, query has been executed successfully. Let me show you the queries. Now you can see, so roll number 1. So I can insert the same data because duplicate data will not be allowed. So duplicate data will be restricted because I have taken primary key. Now another type of table that I am going to show you now. Let me show you another type of table. You can see this query, the first time I have created table, that is my table with this particular query, where you can see primary key has not been incorporated in any given column. But while I have created the second table, that is my table 1, you can see for the roll number primary key has been incorporated. Now I am going to create this particular table. Okay, this particular table where you can see primary key auto increment option is enabled. Primary key auto increment. So what does it mean? That I'm going to show you. Let me first create the table. So what is the difference that I'm going to show you? First let me explain you. So the roll number will be created. So table name will be my table 2 and roll number will be created integer type having 4 length of 4. Okay, primary key roll number will be primary key to restrict duplicate data to be entered in the table, and it will be auto increment. What does it mean? So every time you did not require to give data in the roll number, right? You just have to give data for this 4 field. Roll number will be incremented automatically. You did not require to put any value in this particular roll number field. Okay, every time you just have to put value in these 4 fields, roll number will be incremented automatically. Okay, now you can see for each of those column another function has been incorporated for each column, that is not null, right? Now let me show you. First let me create the table. So I have created this table, my table 2. So let me show you the structure. Now you can see it is having a primary key, okay, and also extra in under the extra column you can see auto incremented. Auto increment means value of this roll number will be incremented automatically. You did not require to provide any value in this given roll number. Now but in case of my table 1, you will see over here the structure of the my table 1. It was primary key, but under the extra the auto increment was not enabled. So in the my table 2 I have added the feature of auto incremented, right? Auto increment will happen. Now let me just execute this insert data query. So if I execute this insert data query, now just see insert data in my table. So here I have got 3 tables, table 1, table 2, table 3. So first time I will just put data in the my table. So in the my table, that is this particular table, my table, I am going to insert data, right? So there in the, let me show you, insert this my table. I have got 5 column, right? 5 column, and also I have got duplicate data because I haven't incorporated the primary key function that you can see over here. Primary key function for the roll number haven't been incorporated over here. That hasn't been incorporated, so I can insert duplicate data. Let me show you. Now here I'm going to put this data. Now if I click the go button, now let me show you. Now you can see while I was inserting data, so it should be my table 1 because my table. So I'm going to put data inside the my table. Now you can see data has been incorporated. Now if you go and check it out over here, null value has been put over here. Null value, NULL, right? Why? Because null value can be incorporated in the table unless you provide not null. In case of my table 2, here you can see null no. Null no means null value are not allowed. Null no means null value are not allowed. But in case of my table 1, just let me show you, null yes, that means null values allowed. Primary key is on, null is no, that means null values is allowed. But you can see only in the primary key there should not be any null value, but in other column null values are allowed. So now let me show you here the difference between null value. Now here if I insert data in the table 2, first let me just insert data in the my table 1. Okay, so now I'm going to insert data in the my table 1. So insert into my table 1 the same data. Okay, now I'm going to delete this Srirampur. So this should be null, right? I'm also deleting this title name, right? So you can see, so I'm just going to provide data for the first name and for the address, and not for the second name and not for the city. So let me execute this query and check it out. But I also have to give value for the roll number because roll number is the primary key in the my table 1. So I will give the roll number, that is 3. Let me show you. So roll number 3, here it should be roll number. Here it should be roll number. So let me execute this. Now I have executed. Now let me check what has been inserted. Now you can see, now roll number 3 I have entered because it is primary, it has a primary key. I have to give unique roll number, and other data can be same because a student, both the student can have same name in a class. Okay, there can be 2 students of having the same name Rahul. Now you can see I have inserted null data. So null data, because you can see null data are allowed over here. But in case of my table 2, if you see the structure, null data are not allowed now. Okay, so just you can see over here there are 3 ways of creating table. Let me show you. So this particular queries, so you can see just simple query, no primary key have been added, right? Just see the query where while I was creating this table, my table, no primary key I have created. While I was creating the my table 1, I have created the primary key, but for the null value I haven't put any constant over there. Now but while I was creating the my table 2, now you can see for the roll number I have created primary key, that is also auto increment, and for each of the column I have assigned the function a constant that is not null. That means it should have some value, right? not null means it should have some value. Now let me just again insert data in this my table 2. Now you can see it is quite empty. I haven't inserted any data. First time I'm going to insert data in the my table 2. Okay, let me show you my table 2. I'm going to insert data. Okay, so now you can see I have not taken roll number. Just see, pay attention, I have not taken roll number. Why I have not taken roll number? Because in the my table 2 which I have created, now you can see over here, auto increment. Roll number will have auto increment function. Roll number will be incremented automatically. So let me show you. Now you can see automatically I have not given any roll number. Roll number has been taken as 1. Now again I am going to insert the same data. Again you can see this is the primary key. Okay, roll number has been auto incremented by 1 2. Okay, I need not require to give roll number. Every time roll number will be incremented, and the other data have been already inserted, same data, because it can be possible that in a class there are more students of having same name, same address, same city. It is possible, but for both separate students there should not be same roll number. Now okay, so let me insert another data. Here I'm going to just change the name. I will say Suresh Gupta, and this person is staying, this student is staying in Uttarpada Hooghly, city is Uttarpada. Okay. Now just let me show you one thing. Now okay, just see over here, data has been inserted and auto increment, roll number has been incremented automatically. I was not giving any roll number. I was just putting data in the 4 column that you can see, first name, last name, address and city. So I was not giving roll number. Roll number has been incremented automatically. This is the manual option for deleting any row. So let me show you the queries for deleting the rows. This query will delete specific row or rows from the table, okay, with specific condition. Now let me execute this query. Row is equal to, let's say, 4. Okay, delete. So here just see, let me show you. I'm going to delete this particular row. Okay, so here you can see roll number equals to 4. So for that I will run this query, delete from my table 2 where roll equals to 4. So let me execute this query. Now you can see that row has been deleted, right? Now again I'm going to delete this particular row, okay, where the roll equals to, or you can say I will take the city as a parameter. City equals to Uttarpada. Now if I write here city, the city will be Uttarpada, UTTERPARA. Now okay, let me just execute this. Now you can see over here the city was Uttarpada. That particular row has been deleted. So I hope you have understood. Now let me show you how to update. So this query will help you to update given data. So I'm going to just change the address field for this last row. Now how to do that? So I will go to SQL queries and I will be running this update command. Now let me show you this update command, this particular command. Okay, I want to update my table 2, and that I want to set the address field Bali Uttarpada, Bali Hooghly, so where the row will be 6. Okay, so I'm going to change the row, that is a row, and the column for the row and that particular column, that is Bali. The address field I'm going to change Bali Hooghly, okay, for that candidate who is having the roll number 6. Understand this query. So I'm going to update my table 2, and that I'm going to set the address column to Bali Hooghly for the condition that I've given for that particular candidate who is having the roll number 6. So let me do it. So I've executed. Let me show you now. Now if you see over here, the Prasenjit Maiti who was having the roll number 6, the address field has been changed to Bali Hooghly. So I hope you have understood. Now let me show you the select query with the database to find out the data. Let's say we are searching for your given data. Now how to execute the search query? To search query we have to use the select option. So let's say select star from the table name. Okay, select star from the table name. So let me execute this query. So select star from my table 2. So from this particular table we are going to see all the data. So for that we have to execute this particular MySQL query, select star from the table name, then run this. Now you will see all the data. So in case we don't want to see all the given column, just we want to see the first name and last name, in that case what we need to do exactly, let me tell you. So this is how we have to write. So select star from table name. This particular query is going to bring all the data in front of you. But in case if you want to see specific data, so what queries you need to run? Select, and you have to write the column name. So just you want to see the first name and last name from the table 2, right? This particular table, that is this table, only the first name and last name. So let me execute. Now you can see. So I have got only first name and last name, right? Now I want to search data on specific condition, right? I want to search data from specific condition. So let me first see the full table. So here I have got this many data. Now I am going to select those candidate name who are living in Hinmotor city, right? Those candidate name who are living in Hinmotor city. There, you can see there are this many number of candidates. Some of them were living in Srirampur, some of the candidates are living in Hindmotor, and others are living in Konnagar. So I just want to see those candidates who are living in Hindmotor. So let me show you how to run such queries. Okay, this particular queries is going to do it for you. Now let me show you. Now select the first name and last name, okay, or you can okay, from the my table 2. So from the my table 2 I'm going to select the first name and the last name of those candidates where the city equals to, let's say, Hindmotor. Okay, let me execute this query. Now see, now these 4 candidates are staying in Hindmotor, right? Now I am going to see those candidates who are staying in Konnagar. Okay, let me execute. Now you can see only these 2 candidates are staying in Konnagar. Now let's say I want to see all the data, not only the first name and last name. I want to see all the data of those candidates who are staying at the city Hindmotor. So I will give star, select star from my table 2 where city equals to Konnagar, or if city equals to Hindmotor. So you can see, so roll number, first name, last name, address and city. So I can see all the data for all those candidates who are staying at the city Hindmotor. So okay, so now let us create another table. Okay, then I'm going to show you. First let me create another table. I'm going to show you how you can select data from 2 tables or from more than 1 table. So let me show you. We have got 2 tables. In the my table 2 we have got the list of names, address, city along with the roll number. So roll number is the primary key, and another table we have got, that is mark sheet. In this mark sheet you can see we have got the roll numbers of the student belonging from the my table category. So in the my table 2 we have got the roll number and the student names, and this for this roll numbers we have not taken the student names. Okay, we are going to use this as a primary key, and the mark sheet this roll number is going to be used as a foreign key, right? So just to save the data we have not taken the name and address and city, right, because those are kept over here in this my table 2. So okay, so here this roll number is the primary key, and in the mark sheet table this roll number is the foreign key. So this student and this student roll number is same of the roll number that I have given over here, right? So now what I will do, you can see, so I'm going to select data from this 2 tables, that is mark sheet and my table 2. So how to do that, let me show you which query you are going to execute. Okay, so I'm going to execute the join query. Let me show you now. So just see, select, first you have to write the table name, my table, right, 2, right, my table 2. So I'm going to select the first name. So I'm going to select from my table 2 the first name, okay, and I'm going to select from my table 2 the last name, and also I'm going to select the, so here what I will be doing, so this thing I'm going to select from my table 2, and I'm going to create join it. Okay, so inner join I'm going to use from this mark sheet, MAR mark sheet on my table 2 dot roll equals to mark sheet dot roll. So this is how I'm going to join, right? And let me show you another thing. So what I will doing over here, now I'm also going to see the marks. So here I will add something, so because I'm going to see the marks, so mark sheet dot maths. Okay, so just see, select my table 2 dot first name. So that means I'm going to select the data column from my table 2, that is the first name column that I am going to see, and again from the my table 2 I am going to see the last name column, and again from the mark sheet table, so a separate table, that is mark sheet, from that table I am going to see the data of maths, the how much student have got in maths, and also I am going to see the marks of history from the mark sheet table, and science and English marks from the mark sheet table. Okay, so from my table 2 inner join with mark sheet on my table 2 dot roll equals to mark sheet dot roll. So this is the query which we have to execute. Okay, so we are going to get the data from 2 separate tables. So let me execute this query. Now you can see over here So you can see over here, or you can see the data from both the tables, right? So you can see I have got the data, right, from both the table, that is from table 2 as well as mark C. So this is how you can get the data from two tables by using the join queries. Now I also want to add a condition to it. Let me show you. Let's say so I want to add a condition to it. So here if I write where clause where clause, okay, so where the city equals to Hin motor. So I'm not going to see all students data, I'm going to see the data of those students who are staying in the city Hin motor. Let me execute. Now see, so 4 students who are staying in the Hin motor. Now you can see over here, so in the my table 2, so in the Hin motor these 4 students are staying. You can see who Rakesh, Rajendra, Subhas and Deepchand, and their roll numbers are 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you go in the mark sheet, you can see the roll number 7, 8, 9, 10. Those were the students who were staying in Hin motors. So their data I want to see over here by this query. We have that query which we have executed. Let me execute the query again. Now here I am adding the where clause, WHERE where, okay, CICT where that is my table 2 dot city, okay, equals to Konnagar. So now I'm going to see this data of those candidates who are staying at Konnagar. Okay, now see 2 students who are staying at the Konnagar. Now I can see their data, their how much are they got in the, how much have they got in these 4 subjects, that you can see. Okay, so there are so many other queries, it is not possible to show you all the queries. So all these queries you can execute by yourself. Read. So I have also written description over here. This link I will give in the description of this video. So just you have to access this link. Okay, so you can see under this menu, PHPMySQL menu, and you will find this PHPMySQL queries. You will get all these queries. So what this query is exactly going to perform, I have written under the query. So this is the query. Under the query I have written what this query is going to execute. Everything I have written in detail. So I will give the link of this website. This website I have created for you only. Okay, so just see the video, understand, and this link I will give it over there. Find the link over there. And let me tell you, I have created many other videos. You will find that in the playlist. Okay, find the playlist and see all the videos. And in the next video I'm going to show you how to run the MySQL queries within the PHP application and to execute with the database. So I'll with the front end I'm going to execute the PHP application incorporating with the MySQL queries, and I'm going to communicate with the server to save the data. So that I'm going to show you the next particular video. So goodbye for today. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe it now, and if you like this video, consider clicking the like button and share this video with your friend. Thank you and goodbye for today.